my biggest things is where I tell people don't ever give up. You know, it doesn't matter how many no's, doesn't matter if you have to take a break, if you need to quit. Mommy's out here crying in front of the mic like this, right? And in my mind, I'm like, don't forget the words, don't forget the words, don't forget the words. That's all I kept saying.
How did you feel when you found out the tragic?
I pushed back. I didn't even want to really put this on.
Really stopped playing sports? Or were you still playing sports and singing at the same time?
Once I stopped playing sports, I was done.
Talking about faking it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it, and don't take a no. Be true to yourself, peace, mental, your morality, your family, keep your loved ones.
Aspiring female artists that want to get in this game, what is your advice to them?
Peace, your mentality, and your morality is first. And I say it like that, I'm not gonna say sell your soul because we don't know what people's moralities are. When I did my audition, it was very weird because
Dime lo que, estamos con la gente hoy. Ay, papá, tú sí vas a hacer. Yo, listen, Podcast Central, Coastal Chronicles NYC, I'm your boy Tank Sinatra, a.k.a. Taino Domingo, a.k.a. call me anything but late for dinner. And you know I couldn't do this show without the Activation King, my brother, to the left of me. Dren Star, talk to the people,
what up,
man.
what up? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? 2025, you know what we doing? Big Duce vibes. Duce Lounge, you know what I'm saying? We activated.
Yes,
we
are.
You know, always shout out the sponsors. Big Duce, of course, Paper Planes, my Rock Nation family, Red Bull.
You heard?
Shout out to my
Godspeed in the building. They
Godspeed
made sure.
sending in that merch. I definitely appreciate y'all. You know, I don't even dress like this, but you know I'm just a
I
vibe,
ain't
you know
gonna
what
hold
I'm saying?
you, bro. That shit right there.
You know me, I do the solid colors. I keep it simple.
Listen,
I'm
that shit fire.
I'm not with the spending money on cotton. I spend money on different things, but we gonna get into it. Do what you
That
do, brother.
shit hard, brother. Today, man, we about to get, this shit is about to be hilarious, and I'm gonna just start it off like this. 4 years old, inspired by Selena, she ignited her passion for music. Raised by a single mother, she pursued piano, guitar, dance, singing lessons, showcasing her undeniable talent. By 15, she was a registered artist, songwriter, studying at Frank Sinatra High School of the Performing Arts and training with renowned vocal coaches. Her journey included performing at Amateur Night at the Apollo, signing a production deal, and earning a communication degree. In 2015, she released her debut single featuring Chinks, rest in peace my boy, gained radio airplay and sang the national anthem at Citi Field, where her song The Power, La Potencia became the Mets team anthem. After a brief hiatus, she returned in 2022, shifting her focus to Spanish music scene. Her recent releases include a bilingual track, Sola, and a reggaeton hit, El Disquete, have shown the world that her evolution as an artist is far from over. Now that we established her presence, let me introduce to you Latin artist Fina, a talented singer, songwriter, and performer. Talk to the people.
Well, hello, y'all. Thank you for having me, first and foremost. Cheers.
Cheers. Okay.
That's what we doing.
Yeah,
We starting off with a
Cheers.
drink.
Cheers.
Yes,
Yo,
we
baby.
blessed, we grateful, so we're
Cheers.
gonna start with that. And I'm your girl Fina, aka Fina Music, aka that girl, and we're gonna call it like that. And just thank you for having me on the show. I'm really excited.
Thank you for pulling up.
We do a lot of AKAs here, so I'm with that. You
I
heard?
learned it from you. I've never done that before.
Listen,
This is
don't
the first
worry about
interview. I said AKA.
Listen, I love it. I love your energy. So what we like to do here, we like to start off with people with artists' background, and tell the people your background, how you grew up. Like we said earlier, you single mother and stuff like that. Tell the people how you was raised.
Well, shoot, you said my whole story practically, but do you want to know more about like the personal side or more on the music side?
Personal first, and then we gonna go there.
Okay, so well, when I was 4, as you said, you left nothing for me. When I was 4, I started singing, or maybe even 3. Selena, my biggest idol. My mom, which is my single mom, she's actually here. Hi, mommy.
Hi, sweetheart.
Can't leave her nowhere. She was a single mom, and she raised me and my 2 sisters. So I did grow up very dominant, very alpha in a sense. I always had a vision of what I wanted. So since I was 4 years old, kind of like Selena in a sense, probably that's why I identified myself with her. When Selena in the movie was like, Ma, I had dreams of, and she envisioned herself as an older, as an adult. winning Grammys and singing in stages, that's always the vision I had for myself as well at a very young age. And I genuinely believe it. So growing up, I was very active. I played basketball, CYONAAU. I played for 10 years. I won MVP. I know I'm short, but
I'm about to say, you about 2 feet tall,
you
bro.
didn't see me shooting in the gym. Yeah, oh no. Mommy, hold on. Mommy, I might need you to not talk during this interview, please. Thank you. I have to remind her sometimes because she's the star here, really. I'm just in
I
the
ain't gonna hold you.
background.
If you've been seeing the behind the scenes, Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
shout out to Mama Fina
Yes,
on
Miss
the
Nancy
sideline.
Mateo. Let's give a little round of applause for her.
Hey. Yeah.
Jen, you didn't applaud her though.
I said, okay.
No, we didn't. There you go. Yeah, we gotta. But
Because
no.
when you say, hold on, I want to, because I'm very respectful, but when you said the last name, it rang a bell because I already got a question. I know where I'm going with it.
Oh,
so
no.
you said Mateo, so that's,
Oh no.
yeah, oh yes. Okay, so
Oh no.
welcome to the Duce Lounge.
I know.
Fina.
I don't know nothing.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so continue
So
on.
you was a 2 feet tall basketball star.
No, I was a little taller than that. I hit 5 feet, but I was killing it. I was a point guard, captain of my team. Years in, I noticed I wasn't growing anymore, so I kind of gave up on that. And I focused more on singing. I was very athletic, so I still played sports, but for fun. Let's see, what else that you did not say? I got accepted into Frank Sinatra Performing Arts. Growing up, I used to go, you guys remember Backstage, the newspaper?
Okay.
So every day I would go in there after school and look up all these auditions and stuff and drag my mom along to all these auditions. That's how I also ended up in the Apollo. The Apollo Theater, fun fact, when I went, I did a line for like 6, 10, 8 hours or so. Yeah, it was long. And right before I went in, they were going to close the door. And I was like, oh, hell no. You know, since I'm short, so I ran right through. And that's how I got in. When I did my audition, it was very weird because it was like a moment of silence. And it was a room kind of like this where it's like 3 judges and then me in the front. And so I sang there, and I kind of felt like everyone else that sang, they said it right away. Like, I don't know what they were questioning with me, but they sat there and they just stood at me for like a good minute. So I thought I didn't get it, and I started walking away.
After you sang?
Yeah, because you sing literally in a room that looks like this with some cameras and...
So he knows what you're talking about because he was also on Apollo.
Oh, really? Oh, so
So-
you don't remember this? It's a room, and it's 3...
This is not my interview. Don't listen to this.
Yeah,
guy.
no, but no, it is. I like asking questions back too, by the way. So I'm a little different.
Listen, I don't want to be like.
But you know what she's talking about, right?
Nah, then I have a manager. My manager said,
Oh, excuse me. Go ahead.
But you know what?
Okay.
My
There's
people-
different
my
because he
people's
probably didn't
fire.
do. You either send a video. I know people that have done like that. Or you do the live
Yeah.
audition. I
What
went,
year was
Yeah.
this?
2007 or 2009. I think 2009.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was
yeah,
it was a
mine
live
was
audition.
mine was a video and a manager.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like back then was video and management, but you can
What-
also do live.
What year was yours?
97.
Ooh.
Oh, 97. He
Oh.
that's a throwback.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
What was I then? Well, so then
That was Steve
we gonna
Harvey
skip
days.
that part. Yeah, we're gonna skip that. We're
That's
gonna get
why I
to
said this your interview, not mine.
So then I go to Frank Sinatra Performing Arts. I had an audition to get there. So there was at that time Talent Unlimited, PPAS, LaGuardia, which was like the #1 at the time.
LaGuardia, baby.
But I'm gonna be honest, when I saw Frank Sinatra Performing Arts, which was Tony Bennett, also R.I.P. to Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett's a school which he named after his best friend Frank Sinatra. What I loved about it is 1, it's tied to Tony, and 2, it was a smaller school. So I knew it was up and coming. It was based out of Queens too, which is my hometown. Boop, boop. So I already knew it was gonna be really dope. And when I went to school, what I loved the most is that Tony was actually like hands-on with his students. So he wasn't just the owner. He actually came every day. He would talk to us. He invited us to sing at the U.S. Open with Diana Ross, who did the
Fire.
opening for that. He invited us to his 81st birthday party. Like, loved me some Tony Bennett. And he gave us a lot of really great advice as well. Once I graduated that, I went to St. Francis College, where I then graduated, because my mom wanted me to get a degree. And so that's what I did. And I graduated with a BA in Communication, Advertising, and Public Relations.
Private. Oh.
Dope. Okay.
So my question is this, right? Just because Selena inspired you and all that, when did you find your voice?
The minute I started singing when I was 4.
Oh, so you
And that was
just-
even before I knew what a Selena was. So when I was 4, I always call this. I'm gonna ask you guys a quick question. I know I'm kind of flipping it. Do you guys ever remember the first second you realized you were alive?
Wow, that's an excellent question. No.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
Alive meaning what?
Like you realize, oh
something
shit, I'm here,
something
I'm
inspired
alive.
me to be alive.
No,
or?
like you're alive, like for real alive. Like there's a point in your life somewhere between, I would say 3, 4, some people even younger.
I got
2.
5. I got 5.
5?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the exact moment?
A baseball game type.
Really? And then that's when it clicked, where you're like, that's my mom. This is my name.
That was how me and
This
my
is the
father.
world.
That's how me and my father bonded.
Interesting. So the first time that I noticed that I was alive, I was in Dominican Republic, and I was 4 years old. I had a little mermaid bata, which is like a little shirt that you sleep with. And I was walking in my hallway, and I remember looking around everywhere in my house, and this is when I'm actually realizing my name is Josephina, which, by the way, is my government name. This is my house. I live here. This is my room. This is my kitchen. Oh my God, I live, I exist. Wow, look at the world. This is the first time that I'm conscious of it. Because when you're a child, you can see all these things, but you're not really putting 2 and 2 together. But there's always a point, and not everyone realizes that moment. So I realized it that moment. And I would say maybe just a day or 2, 3 later, that's when I knew I was singing. And that's when I knew this is what I was put on this earth to do.
So this is...
Selena came around a year later.
So you said this is 4 in
4 years
in
old.
DR?
4 years old in DR.
When did you come to New York?
So my situation is a little complicated.
We don't got to get complicated.
Yeah,
Just keep
I
it
was
simple.
always back and forth. So I was born in Dominican, and then I came right away, right after being born, to New York, and then I did preschool in New York, and I did kindergarten in DR, and then
So
after
you
5,
was really going back and forth.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then after 5, I never returned. So after 5, I stayed here for good. So
Okay.
that was around the year of the divorce of my parents.
So what was the... I mean, you said... It sounds to me like you were born singing, but that wasn't the...
No, at 4.
Yeah. But like what... Like, did you just do it like for fun? Like you were just running around the house singing? Like...
No,
I mean, I don't want to have to pull mommy in here.
No,
to,
please don't. Look, she's dying to talk.
But I don't know.
You have to talk into the mic.
Okay, she's dying to talk. Now you see where I get it from, huh?
I see where you get it from. Yeah.
I've been trying to get mommy on the show. I ain't gonna hold you. Mommy's a vibe.
No, you know, from the minute I started singing, I understood this is what I'm meant to do. I'm meant to be a rising star. Like, I'm going to be huge one day. And it sounds crazy. Where do I get this thought? Where did I get this idea? I guess God gave it to me because it was just in my vision. I always understood I'm not singing to sing. I would grab my grandma. I would grab my mom. I would grab anybody that I can grab, put them front and center, and then start singing and dancing. And I'm talking about, like, crazy
Performing.
stuff.
You're
Yeah,
just
like,
performing.
remember when Gloria Trevi came out con pelo suelto? I did a whole performance with a T-shirt on my head because I had little braids, so my hair wouldn't really like move how I needed it to. So I would put a shirt on my head and grab like anything, like this cup, anything. I could grab a phone and just start singing. And you would have to sit there and watch it. And the crazy part is not just because they were my family, they would actually applaud. So I'm like, oh. And my mom in particular and a lot of my family always applaud me. They always kind of raised me with a lot, and I'm talking about a lot of love, but also with a lot, what's the word? Confidence. So I was always very confident. Was I nervous? Yes. The day that I actually lost that fear of being on a stage, though, was in the Apollo. That was a whole nother experience. We could talk about that later. But after the Apollo date, I never shook again. I was never scared to be on a stage again. Before that, I would be scared, but I would not show it.
Got it. So so you started at, I mean, kids, you know, they have fun, they have a good time, they're singing, la la la. What was the transition in your life where you're like, where you took it serious? Like, this is
That got you to Frank Sinatra.
like this
Oh,
is what
that's
I really
different.
want to do. Like,
Well, I mean, I'm telling you though, really, Dren, since the 8, since 4 and 5, I was already
no, I get it.
asking them like,
Because-
get me auditions.
'cause you
I
had a
wanna do
passion.
this. I wanted
Like-
to go on Sábado Gigante.
Oh, wow,
So that's the
okay.
only dream I did not get to do because I guess I was relying on everybody else. I was too young, so I was like, can anybody find a way to send my video to Sábado Gigante? Can I get on Sábado Gigante? Sometimes he would leave the mail of how you could send your videotape, but for some reason or another, I never got the chance to send an audition tape to Sábado Gigante.
You was dead ass.
No, I was serious. That's what I'm saying. From 4 or 5, even Cristina. But Sábado Gigante was a little easier to get to because Cristina was in between. Sometimes she would have young acts.
So explain to our viewers what Sábado Gigante is, because they're not familiar with that. So
The
we
Latin
Google,
side.
baby. Sábado Gigante. No, I'm just kidding. Google Sábado Gigante. No, so Sábado Gigante.
if you could compare it to something now, like what would be like?
Nobody's like him.
Nah, yeah, it's
Nobody,
crazy.
no, nobody's
different,
like
it's
him.
different. Yeah.
None of these shows. No, so I'm just gonna explain
That's
what.
almost like. Nah, you can't.
Can
even
it be
say
American
Nah,
Idol?
nothing. Nah, you can't.
Nah, I was
No.
about
It's a
to
whole
say
different
American
lane.
Bandstand, but
No, he was
not even that.
unique because Sábado
he had
Gigante,
he had different type
acts.
of-
So Sábado Gigante would do things like what we're doing right here on the podcast. Like
The
he would
next
do
thing you know-
podcasts. Then he would do big artists that would come in and sing, and then he would have kind of like amateur night in Apollo. He was like all of them in one. Because then he'll bring the kids to do like the little amateur stuff. And then he'll bring the adults and it'll be a contest. And then there'll be artists coming in to do interviews and actors. And then he would talk politics. And then he would talk, this man talked everything. He was literally the president of all Latin America. And then he had the Chacal. So kind of like the Apollo, Sábado Gigante would have a guy called Chacal. Instead of the audience booing you off the stage, he would boo you off the stage. And he would literally run after you like the guy from Scream, but with a trumpet. It was insane. Why do I remember all this?
I mean, you got
That's
to remember.
listen.
Wow.
It's not even.
It's
that's
part
a
of
part
history.
your history.
It's part of the culture. Yeah, it is what it is.
Listen, you want to know what's crazy about that? Because now that you posed the question, right, and this is as far as I'm gonna take it. I've never thought about performing in any talent shows till I became a teenager. Like I used to do probably, let's just say if I would be in a birthday party, you know how your family be. Go ahead, do something. And then that's what I would do. But I was never like on the tip where you was like,
No.
yo, put me on. Damn, what the fuck was that little shit? Talent. I don't even matter. Whatever talent show was back then, the Apollo was the first real talent show that I was ever on.
Apollo I started seeing when I was like 7, 8, 9. I started witnessing that. But from 4, I was watching Cristina and I was watching Sábado Gigante. And all I knew is I want those. And I used to even tell my family, I want Sábado Gigante more because they have the section for people like me, which was babies, like kids. Because Cristina, it was just kind of everybody go in and just do your thing. But in Sábado Gigante, he had the amateurs, which is for the babies. And they come in and the Chacal cannot come out there, so it was cool. And then he had the adult time where the Chacal comes in. So I knew right away I want to be on those shows from like 4. Also, when I used to watch Barney, I wanted to be on Barney too when I was 5. So, see, like I always, since little, I understood this is not a joke for me. I just understood I'm young. So, I'm 5. Let me try to get on what I know on TV or what I see that I could get on. No one in my family was dealing with an artist that wanted to be a singer. I think I was one of the first, right? Like 5-year-olds that's like, I want to sing. So, it's new to everyone.
Go ahead. Did your family support your dreams and
Biggest supporters to this
Did they
day.
see the vision? Like,
They
all right,
see
she's gonna be.
Since little. And sin embargo, one of my uncles blood related was Johnny Ventura. That what was he, mami? He hace el guira. So el guidero was married to my aunt, so I grew up with them. Yeah, so all of them, and they were ready. I mean, Johnny Ventura is like legend, right? He's in social studies books. For anybody that doesn't know, he's the biggest merenguero ever to live. Like him and Celia Cruz was in the social studies books when I was 9, and it was weird because I'm like, I know him when I'll be in class. But when they saw me, even as a kid, they would tell my mom, they would tell my dad, my aunt, everyone. They'll be like, she's a star, like rough on the edges, but that's a 5-year-old star you guys have in your hand.
So in school, you did all the talent shows
Everything.
and all that.
I got all the solos.
You was always the one in the front line, like doing the most.
Everything.
That was you.
Frank Sinatra, listen to this story, right? I don't say it in all my interviews, but since I like y'all,
Okay.
right, and we activated, I'm gonna tell y'all this story.
Yeah,
Give me a minute,
definitely
though.
activated.
All this talking is making me dry, so I have to just moist myself back. Just give me a second, okay? I need to breathe. So when I went to Frank Sinatra, I auditioned freshman year. I did not get in. So I'm like, nobody really knows, but I'm going to tell you the truth, right? Sophomore year, I auditioned again. I stayed in my junior high all the way till sophomore year because my junior high went up to 9th grade. So sophomore year, I'm like, this is the only chance I got left. And I didn't want to go to the other schools. So I'm like, no, I want to go to this school. I auditioned again. I didn't get in again. And I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, I know what I can do. I went every day after school to this high school. And I went up to the front and I'm like, I need to speak to the principal. They would be like, no, we can't. No, we can't. I went every day. And this was already mid-semester because remember, you find out mid-semester if you get in or not, so you know for the following semester you can get in. So we're talking about around January. I went from January all the way to June every day. I took the train right after school. And I remember around May, I guess they got tired of seeing me. And the principal at this point is like, I kind of want to meet this girl now at this point. Her name was, the principal's name is Miss Fina. I'm not sure if she's still the principal there. But she was the principal at the time at Frank Sinatra. And they let me in. I couldn't even believe it because I was already like, what? I can't see the principal. So they're like, all right, bring her in. And I went up to the principal and I said, I have more talent than, I would almost say, I don't want to be too cocky, 90% of your students. Give me another audition. I want to know why I didn't get into school. And then I have excellent grades. I was a 4.0 student. So I showed her my report card. And I was like, look at my report card. And I swear to you, if you give me a chance in this school, you will remember me. She was so impressed. And this is why one of my biggest things is where I tell people don't ever give up. You know, it doesn't matter how many no's. Doesn't matter if you have to take a break, if you need to quit. Mommy's out here crying. I didn't even look at her, but I could already see it, right? Look at you. But anyways, the main point is, she's distracted. I need to get her out of here.
I swear to God.
Mom is good. She's
They
chilling.
need a
to get her
Twitch.
out. She
Yo,
not letting me do this
listen.
interview
They
with
need
me.
a Twitch channel ASAP. Both of them together. Oh my God.
But this is why I always tell people, if you give up, if you quit, if you stop, no matter how long it takes, the only thing in life that is really where we're all going is death. Everything else has a solution. You never know. It doesn't matter your age. Keep going, because when I did that, what she was most impressed with, she was like, forget your grades, forget your talent. What I'm impressed with is your persistence. And then you, once you got the chance,
And
you
your
told me straight
character.
out, 90% of your students are not at my level and you will remember me. So now she's intrigued, and she said, you know what? Welcome to Frank Sinatra Performing Arts. And I said, what? And she printed out an acceptance letter right there.
Right
I took
there.
it back
Wow.
to mommy, and I came back to my school, and I was like, guys, I got in. But no one knew that I got in because I did that. People just saw my acceptance letters. Check this out.
Nobody knew what you was doing behind the scenes. Everything.
No. And I told everyone that, because my friend got in for acting. And she was like, I got my acceptance letters. You still don't have it? It's almost the end of the year. And I said, no, some people are getting it late. That wasn't true. It wasn't about anyone getting it late. I just, didn't have an acceptance to the school. Long story short, I did 3 years there, remember? Because I came in late. I came in sophomore year. I didn't get to go in freshman year. Sophomore year, junior year, and senior year, guess who had every audition that she auditioned for? I was the lead in every single thing I auditioned for. And I kept my grade up. By the ending, Miss Finn came up to me and my coaches, because I made sure to let my coaches know. They weren't even aware they didn't pick me. I let my coaches know, you remember me? And they were like, what do you mean? I'm like, you didn't choose me. They're like, we didn't. I'm like, no, you did not. I'm like, I got in here because I was a pest every day, but you didn't choose me. And they were stuck. All of them came up to me, including Miss Finn, that said, I remember what you said, where you said you will remember me by the time I graduate. And I really do. Everyone here remembers you. And I'm not lying, every solo I went for, every solo I got. So, whoa. Victory story.
the lesson about that is being persistent. Like you were by yourself. You knew the talent.
Yep.
You knew the beast that you were. Mm-hmm. And when your other fellow classmates were clowning you, like, oh, you didn't get accepted. You didn't get accepted.
And not taking a no. No, they didn't know I didn't get accepted because I never told them. I told them some people are getting letters late.
Got it.
As I was in vocal, no one knew because my friends weren't acting.
Talking about faking it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. And don't take a no. Don't take a no.
Facts.
You don't know what you can do to turn that no into a yes. Right?
All right. So now, go ahead.
We're going to move forward, but is the reason why I'm asking this. So, because you stopped growing, you stopped playing sports. Did you really stop playing sports? Or were you still playing sports and singing at the same time?
I did singing and sports till the age of 16. Once I stopped playing sports, I was done. And I really stopped playing sports. Now, like, if you guys just said right now, let's go shoot some hoops, I'd be like, I'm down to embarrass y'all. We can get this done. But it's not me still playing sports. Again, don't be rolling your eyes over there, okay?
Nah, he had a situation. That's why it's called trauma.
Oh. Can you please tell me?
What was doing?
He had
yo, Sway, that nigga.
He had
I
a
want to know about the
situation.
traumas now. We opening up wounds.
Brother.
Nah, that's-
We're opening
This
up
nigga brought
wounds.
his gun tonight. Oh, okay.
We had a female guest.
Oh no, another female.
That was
we had another
crazy.
female guest
Yeah,
here.
you see what happened when chivalry.
And
That's what happens.
And it was your question that
she
led
was
to
a
this.
track star. You know what I'm saying? And he ran track, but we're gonna save that for the B-roll. Look,
No, I mean just get to the point. What was the ending of that story? Because I want to
The
know.
ending of the story was chivalry. I'm a chivalrous person. So that says it all.
yeah, what kind of answer is that, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It don't
she's
seem
gonna
like
feel
he's being
hey,
answered with our
yo.
audience. He's not,
That's
he's
it.
not being
Listen,
I
honest
got the
with
video.
our
I'll
audience.
show it to you. I'll show it to you. I got the
Please?
video. I got the
Whatever.
video.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh.
back to Fina's interview
Oh.
because I'm feeling attacked right now. Word, I'm feeling attacked right now.
It's my brother. We could do that. We could do that. I got
All
all
day.
the B-roll. I got
All
all the
day,
Yeah, I'm
B-roll.
trying to. I
It's
want
I
to
what
got
I
know.
everything.
do.
I got everything,
That's
bro.
what we do. Now, because you heavy in the sports,
I am.
you heavy in the sports, we going to get into that. That's why I'm like, you know what I'm saying? We going to get into that.
I like watching still. I'll come out with my friends. Anything that's a vibe, I'll be there. But I just don't physically play them anymore.
Okay,
You know, respectfully.
got you. So now let's get to the Apollo, because that's what I really want to get into. You know what I'm saying? So you tell the people how it was your first.
Ooh. That was a whole experience. Mami, no quiero saber nada. Sorry, guys. My mom was interrupting again. She's getting kicked out of this interview.
You gotta tell the
Listen,
story.
let's go because
Okay, so
That's,
here we
that's
go.
the momager. That's
look,
momager.
look how
proud of
crazy
you.
it is. No, look,
She's
Fina,
proud of you.
Let
She's
me
proud of
tell
you.
you the crazy shit, right? You just finished saying you was nervous, scared,
I was,
all
yeah.
this.
I was.
Mommy just finished saying you won.
But
It's
she
a
beat-
reason
she-
why.
I wanted
listen,
to
hold
get
on,
there first.
Hold on. There's a reason why we ask these questions. You understand what I'm saying? There's a reason why we having this conversation. This is not an interview. Because you have to understand that somebody's gonna watch this interview, right? And they have the same aspirations that you have. And they probably saying to themselves, they having doubt in their brain, yo, I'm not finna do this because this is the fear that I have at este y lo otro. But are you coming on this joint, a Latina, you understand what I'm saying? Put it on. And they like, yo, if Fina could do it, guess what? I could do it too. You dig what I'm saying? That's what you gotta understand. Mommy doing her job at the end of the day because
They
you the
defending
reason
you.
you the
Mira.
reason you are who you are right
Me
now
habla
because of
ella
mommy.
ahora. Oh,
You feel me?
So tell your story, the Apollo. Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, so from the beginning, from the auditions, it was a tough one. You know, again, I never gotten anything just given. Because kind of like Frank Sinatra, like I told you guys, from the audition, first they almost closed the door on me, and I said, absolutely not. I threw myself through the crack. Then I get in, and I was I was the last group to audition. So I think they were tired of everybody at that point. It was midnight, and they were still doing the audition. My group was probably of 8-9 people. When I went up, I was the last person in that group. Again, I saw how they dealt with everyone else. It's either no or yes. Me, they stood there in silence like this. And I'm looking at them and I'm
So
standing there.
that was mad intimidating.
Again, I mean, I was kind of like, okay. So
What's
I gave
going
them a
on?
couple seconds and I walked away. I walked away. Right before I got to the, it was a staircase to go downstairs. Right when I got to the staircase, they were like, excuse me, Miss Sola, come back. You're in. And I was like, what? And they gave me that. And I was like, and you know, to this day, I always have this question, and I guess I'll never have an answer for it unless they see this interview and one of them want to come and tell me, what was it about my audition that they were stuck? Like they were thinking about it. Because I didn't see them do that with anyone else.
Well, I'm gonna jump in right now. Because from my experience, when I first heard you sing, you're very tiny, but when you open your mouth, you're very impactful. So I'm not sure if you remember when we had went to one of our Dulce activations, and you just started singing. Like you got up from your chair. We're all eating. Everybody's eating. We had probably like a 20-person dinner, and when you got up and you just sang, everybody was just stuck. Facts. I'm telling you facts. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, we all looking at each other. And there was other people in the room that were also singers. And you just fucked everybody up because nobody knew that you sang.
Aw, I'm flattered. I'm
No, real talk. So I could relate to what they was bugging on because when you did that, it was totally unexpected. So when you did that and you really like did what you did, I'm like, oh my God, like, because it's like you don't expect that from a person like you. You know what I'm saying? So like,
I guess
there's you know there's a few singers that have that impact where they have that big. You have a big voice.
belter.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the.
I learned that from La India, another person that I really look up to. But I started because people always ask me, why do you belt someone? I said La India.
So like
We
you
gonna
know
blame her.
that's like the element of surprise because you know you can see people like, oh yeah, they're a singer, they do this, they do that. But when you actually did what you did, like you just came out of left field with it and you just started just singing. And we was like, oh.
No warm up.
No warm up. No warm up. And there was, like I said, there was other people in the room that I knew. And I'm like, all right, who's next? They didn't dare. They didn't dare open their mouths. So like after what you just did. So that's my story of when I first heard your vocals. So I'm pretty sure that when you did the same thing at the Apollo, it was totally unexpected.
Yeah.
And they're like, what, like, oh my gosh.
Just
that was-
silence.
That's why
Yeah,
they
yeah.
was looking at you like this little
Stop.
motherfucker right here.
But they weren't
She
even
only
looking at
four-
me. They were
she only
looking at each other.
4'9".
They were in silence like this.
Mhm.
And I'm looking at them, and they had cameras like this, and I was in front, and I'm looking at them like, and I'm like, you know when they do those reality TV shows and they're auditioning in the background, it's like cricket. That was me, and I was like, let me take my L and walk away. So I turned around before they told me you may leave because they didn't tell me nothing.
So how many seconds or minutes went by?
All the way to the end, like the walk was probably, I would say, like from this wall to that wall to get to the stair. That's a pretty good walk.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I did it in slow motion, you know, giving them the chance to be like,
and how long was the audition? About a minute? A minute and a half, 2 minutes?
about a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was this for the TV or the regular Wednesday night?
I think, you know, it's weird because I don't think they were airing that year, but it was supposed to be for like TV. It wasn't a Wednesday, it was on weekends. Yeah, it was literally amateur at the Apollo. But it was the 2 years where they stopped film, like
if it was
putting
weekends,
it.
it's definitely supposed to be aired because you got regular Wednesday and amateur night.
Yeah, no, I wasn't on a Wednesday, it was on a weekend. Because
All right.
I would have known if I went to
What was
school.
it that you sang to them?
Christina Aguilera hurt.
See, she has a big voice.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it, like she's one of the, she
And
has
that
a
was my-
big.
my vocal
so you
range
gotta
was
be
even higher
bold.
then.
You have to be bold to sing one of her records.
Yeah, and it starts real slow.
And she has a big voice. Like there's
Indeed.
there's like 2 or 3 of them. Like Christina Aguilera is one of them.
Yeah, Adele.
Ariana Grande.
Adele.
La
Ariana
India,
Grande.
out of here.
Yeah.
Beyonce be belting crazy too. Beyonce
Yeah.
goes crazy with it.
Yeah, that's like-
Whitney, belter.
Oh no, yeah.
Celine
yes.
Dion, belter.
Yeah, now Whitney's another one. The minute she opens her mouth, it's like wow.
Bro.
Like She's
Ariana
moving
Grande,
furniture.
bro. People sleep
Mariah.
on her.
It's just that
Mariah's
also.
not really a
But
belter.
no, but
she's
she
a
can.
high note.
But no, she could hit
she
belts,
just got
and then she
octaves.
goes from chest voice, and then she could
got-
also give you
She
falsetto.
got octaves. She's not really
Let me
like
see
a
if I.
belter.
Oh no, that's Celine Dion. Yeah, you're right. Not Mariah. That's
Nah,
Celine Dion.
trust me, I
song
know.
I'm thinking.
I used to do
so
this.
what happened
I
after
used to
that?
do this.
After you
So as I was the minute I was gonna go downstairs, because there's a stair to get yourself out of the exit. Right when I got to the door, they said, "Excuse me, Miss Sola." They called me by my last name. They're like, "You're in." And I was like, I turned around and I was like, "Am I hearing shit?" So I was like, "Excuse me," and they're like, "Come get your paper. You're in. Well, you made it to amateur at the Apollo. Congratulations." And it was the girl with the big blonde hair. She's like your color, my color. Big blonde fluffy hair. I think she's like an icon. I just don't know her name. She used to do the auditions and she was part of the Apollo. Do you remember seeing? Well, I don't know.
Nah,
said,
he did that
I
like
did
10 years
that.
before.
No,
you.
she was there even then.
Okay.
No,
She's been there for years. No, she's been there for years. She was already older, but she still looked fly. And she had long hair, blonde, but she must have been African American.
What song did you sing when you won?
The same one.
The same one?
Yeah, because you had to sing. You could change the song, I guess, but you could sing the same song over and over. And I figured, you know what's funny? A lot of people kept telling me, Fina, change the song because it's not commercial enough. But I'm like, Hurt is huge.
Listen, it's all about how you sound.
Yeah, and I was like, and I
what
love
the
at that
song
time I
is.
loved her. I used to use this song for every audition. for the national anthem of not the World Series, for the City Field, I didn't make the audition in person. I never got a chance to go, so I sent in a CD with a good friend of mine that had a person inside the arena, and they were like, "Can you take a listen to it?" She didn't make the audition. The whole season, look how lucky I am. The whole season went, they already had their singers for the year. You know how that is.
It's not luck though, but go ahead, don't say that.
I know it's God.
Yeah,
it's
don't say
God.
that.
But we're gonna call it luck for a second, and then we're
Thank
gonna
you.
bring it back. But watch
Make that
this.
luck.
Oh, damn, y'all both hate that word. No, I'm not
what
gonna
we
use
do.
luck again.
We don't do luck around here.
We don't do luck around here. I love it.